Welcome back. So this video we're going to look at sampling a bit of music. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks specific to this brief, and also just a few things that are handy for any radio brief that might come up in the future. So I'm going to show you how to create a loop, which is useful for wild track. And I'm also going to show you how to edit existing sound and music. Okay. Apologies for the sound. I know it's a little bit patchy. It's just the software I've got at home. Obviously, we're in quarantine at the moment, self-isolation, so I'm just making the best I can, and I'm using my laptop at the moment and the microphone, so bear with me. Right, so first thing again, file new, and multi-track file. And this time I've chosen some songs, and the songs that I've chosen have relevance. So I'm just going to show you, we'll just do one for now, and we'll do okay. So I've chosen songs. For example, I've chosen Jose Gonzalez because a famous singer, sings in Spanish and English, uses Spanish guitar, and I chose a song called Heartbeats, and that was for the couples brief. So there's obvious connotations and links to that. I chose Justin Bieber for the teenagers, and I chose Despacito because, again, it's a very popular song for that audience, and so there's a bit of intertextuality there. Now, for the family one, I didn't want something too cheesy, so I wanted something that was popular, but I also wanted something that sounded a little bit Mexican. So, down with the trumpets, I found myself an instrumental version, and it's got no words in it, so I could just use this as a backing track. We'll have a little listen now. So the only issue with this is it's quite loud. It would need a bit of sampling. Also, for me, it doesn't matter for you from an educational point of view. You can actually sample any of this music as long as you explain what you've done and where you got it from. Because I'm putting this video on YouTube, I'll be subject to copyright laws, and so I'm not going to use this version. I'm going to edit this version in such a way that it almost becomes my own version. Now, a couple of things to think about then. If we wanted to create a loop, we can come down here to tasks and we can go to create loop. And very simply, we can select the bit we want, make sure loop's turned on, and press the play button. So I've just guessed that, but I could just take a smaller sample, just that bit. There we go. So clearly I can just zoom in now by shortening this bar at the top. I can be much more accurate with exactly where I start and stop it. Sort of there. Okay, so I can then save that loop, and that becomes my wild track. I can import that wild track on any radio thing, and it will just play that section over and over and over again. And if you want it to be a bit more seamless, you just need to take a bit more time to sort of blend it together and make it more finessed. Okay, now a couple of other things that we can do. I'll just come out of that. I can also edit this by slowing it down or speeding it up. So let's say, for example, I want a different section of the song. That's about 30 seconds long. What I could do is I can go into tasks and I can go to change timing. And I can simply change that to 40 seconds, which is the minimum amount of time the advert has to be. I can click preview to see how it sounds. Okay, so that's perfect. That sounds just similar enough to the original that you might recognise it for a bit of intertextuality, but different enough that it suits what I want. And there's a few other effects I'm just going to show you that you can do to audio. Remember, this is a media brief, it's educational, and the non-exam assessment is still a test. So every opportunity you get to plant meaning into your media language, you should be doing that. So I might add in a few extra effects or sound styles that are going to give it that connotation that I want. And the connotation I want is that it's family friendly and that it's fun. And so that's what I want. So I can come to effects and I can select effects here. Now we've slowed the content a little bit, and there's a whole range of different things that will have different effects. Now I'm going to go to mastering of slow music, and you will have effect presets. So I'm going to choose blissful bass, and I'm going to get some clarity on there. And I'm going to apply those to selection. And it will be very subtle, but you can see there how it's changed the sound. And we'll just have a quick listen. Okay, and obviously I want the volume to be much lower than that. You shouldn't have it up here to the top. Okay, so once again, file, export, multitrack, and this is going to be an MP3, and it's going to be my backing track for my family brief.